Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear me and hear me well. We were not born just to pay bills, breathe, and then leave this earth quietly. No, no. Each and every one of us carries within us a spark, a gift, a calling, a message that's meant to echo far beyond our time here. You see, life isn't about how long you live. It's about what you leave behind. It's about writing your story so boldly, loving so deeply, serving so passionately, that your impact keeps speaking long after you're gone. Today, I'm here to challenge you to live a life that will outlive you, to dare to plant seeds that will blossom into forests you may never walk through, but generations will. Because, my friends, your life has a purpose far greater than your own lifetime. Let's talk about how to step into that purpose right now. When we talk about living a life that will outlive us, the very heart of that idea is to build a legacy by serving others and making a meaningful contribution beyond ourselves. You see, we live in a world that often pushes us to chase titles, possessions, and status symbols that fade away as quickly as they come. But the truth is, real fulfillment, real significance, comes when we shift our focus from what we can get to what we can give. It's about asking yourself daily, whose life can I touch today? Who can I help rise higher? Where can I leave my fingerprints on someone's heart? Because what outlives us is not our trophies or our bank accounts. It's the people we lift, the hope we spark, and the change we create. Think about the people who have inspired you most in your own life. Chances are, it wasn't because of the car they drove or the job title they had. It was because they showed you kindness when you needed it most. They shared wisdom that stayed with you, or they believed in you when you couldn't believe in yourself. That is the power of serving others. It creates ripples that go further than we can see. We may never know the full impact of a kind word, a selfless act, or a moment spent truly listening to someone who feels unheard. But those ripples keep moving forward, touching lives we may never even meet. Building a legacy through service isn't reserved for the wealthy, the famous, or the highly educated. It's about ordinary people choosing to do something extraordinary, putting love and compassion into action. It can be as simple as mentoring someone younger, sharing your skills to help a community project, or using your voice to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. It can mean building something that lasts, a charity, a school, a scholarship, or even a family culture rooted in honesty, courage, and kindness. When we give our time, our talent, and our heart, we are investing in something that will keep growing even when we're no longer here to see it. Many people ask, how can I start building that legacy? The answer often begins with self-awareness and humility. Recognize what gifts you've been blessed with, not just talents, but also your experiences, your resilience, your story. Then ask where those gifts can do the most good. True service isn't about doing what makes you look good in the eyes of others. It's about doing what makes a difference even when no one is watching. It's about choosing to act even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or unseen. That is where character is forged and where true impact begins. Remember, our time here is limited, but the influence we leave behind doesn't have to be. Serving others plants seeds of hope, courage, and change that can blossom into something much greater than ourselves. It invites us to think beyond our own lifespan and imagine the kind of world we want to leave behind for future generations. It pushes us to live intentionally, to choose contribution over comfort, and to see success not in what we accumulate, but in what we share. Living each day with purpose, passion, and intention, so your actions echo into the future, isn't just an inspiring idea. It's a mindset and discipline that transforms an ordinary life into an extraordinary legacy. So many people drift through life on autopilot, moving from one obligation to the next without ever pausing to ask, why am I doing this? What mark am I leaving? But when you choose to live purposefully, every day becomes a conscious decision to move closer to the life you were meant to create and the difference you were born to make. Purpose gives direction, passion fuels the journey, intention keeps you grounded so you don't get lost in distractions or fear. Purpose is your guiding star, that deep conviction of what truly matters to you. It doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes it's the quiet commitment to love your family well, to create art that stirs hearts, or to advocate for those without a voice. Living with purpose means constantly asking yourself, is what I'm doing today aligned with what I believe is most important? It invites you to say no to things that drain your spirit and yes to the things that bring you closer to your mission. And in a world overflowing with noise and demands, staying true to your purpose is what keeps your actions meaningful and your spirit alive. Passion, on the other hand, is the energy that pushes you forward even when things get hard. It's the spark that makes you wake up excited to keep going, even after setbacks or criticism. Passion makes your work feel less like a burden and more like a calling. It turns challenges into opportunities to grow rather than reasons to quit. But passion isn't something that magically appears. It's something you cultivate by showing up every day, by staying curious, by pouring your heart into what matters to you. It's the fire that makes your vision contagious, drawing others to your cause and inspiring them to join you. Then, there's intention, the discipline of aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. Intention is what keeps you from being swept away by distractions or negativity. It's the habit of pausing to reflect. Does this choice move me closer to the legacy I want to leave? Living intentionally doesn't mean you won't make mistakes or face doubt, but it means you keep coming back to your deeper why. It means you prioritize the things that matter most, even if they don't offer instant gratification or applause. When you bring purpose, passion, and intention together, your days stop feeling random or reactive. Your life begins to take on a shape that reflects your deepest values. You become someone whose actions today plant seeds that blossom tomorrow, whose choices ripple outward to inspire, comfort, and uplift others long after you're gone. It's about turning your time on this earth into a message that speaks louder than words, showing through your daily living what truly matters and what it means to live fully, courageously, and wholeheartedly. Investing in people, values, and ideas that endure long after you're gone is one of the most powerful ways to ensure that your life outlives your time on this earth. Too often, we're taught to measure success by immediate rewards or personal milestones, but real lasting significance comes from what we build into others and into the world around us. It's about looking beyond the horizon of your own lifetime and asking, what am I planting today that will keep growing tomorrow? This mindset shifts you from living reactively to living deliberately, with every choice guided by a commitment to create something bigger than yourself. Investing in people is perhaps the most human and impactful way to extend your influence far beyond your years. Think about the mentors, teachers, family members, or even strangers who poured something into your life, a lesson, an example, a word of encouragement at just the right moment. Their investment didn't end with you. It continues in the way you now speak to others, lead your family, do your work, or face challenges. Every life you touch becomes a living continuation of your story, and the values you pass on, kindness, resilience, honesty, compassion, become threads that weave into the fabric of many other stories. This kind of investment isn't limited to grand gestures or dramatic acts. It can be as simple as being fully present for your loved ones, listening without judgment, or sharing wisdom earned through your own struggles. It can mean encouraging someone to dream bigger, to keep going when they feel defeated, or to believe in their worth. It might be guiding a colleague, mentoring a young person, or raising your children not just to succeed, but to live with integrity and heart. The beauty of investing in people is that the return doesn't fade with time. It multiplies, carried forward by those you've inspired and taught. Then there's investing in values, the principles and beliefs that shape the way you live and lead. These are the anchors that keep you grounded when life gets turbulent, and they're also the gifts you can leave behind for generations. Think of values like courage, compassion, justice, creativity, and faith. When you live your life in alignment with these values, you're not just telling others what matters to you, you're showing them. And showing is always more powerful than telling. You become a living example of what it means to hold on to what's right, even when it's hard or unpopular. Passing on values isn't about lecturing or controlling. It's about living them out consistently so they become part of your legacy. It's about making decisions, big and small, that reflect what you stand for. Over time, your family, community, and even people you've never met can be inspired by your choices. They might remember how you treated others with respect, how you stayed humble despite success, or how you stood up for what you believed in, even at a cost. Those memories and stories become part of your living legacy, a guide and a light for those who come after. Finally, investing in ideas that outlive you is a powerful way to shape the world beyond your own lifetime. Ideas have a unique power to transcend generations, to spark movements, to challenge injustice, or to create new possibilities. These might be ideas about how to solve a problem, how to care for the earth, how to build more inclusive communities, or how to innovate in your field. You don't have to be a famous inventor, writer, or activist to contribute meaningful ideas. What matters is sharing what you see, know, and imagine so it can inspire others. Think about the countless people throughout history whose words and ideas continue to move us today. Some wrote books, some gave speeches, some quietly shared insights that spread through others. Their physical lives ended, but their ideas live on, continuing to guide, comfort, and challenge us. Your ideas can do the same whether they're written, spoken, taught, or simply modeled in your daily actions. By sharing your vision and your truth, you plant seeds that may grow into something far beyond what you could ever see. Investing in people, values, and ideas requires patience, courage, and faith. You may not see the results in your lifetime, and that's okay. The point isn't immediate recognition, it's long-term transformation. It's about trusting that small, consistent acts of kindness, integrity, and creativity can ripple outward in ways you'll never fully know. It's about accepting that the most important things you leave behind aren't things at all, but the unseen impact of your love, your beliefs, and your vision. Living this way isn't always easy in a world that celebrates quick wins and loud applause. It requires stepping back from ego and asking, what will remain when I'm gone? It means being willing to build things that might not benefit you directly, to pour into people who may never thank you, and to keep going even when you feel unseen. But in doing so, you become part of something timeless and greater than yourself. When you choose to invest in people, values, and ideas, you create a living legacy that keeps breathing and growing. You become a link in a chain of goodness, courage, and hope that stretches far into the future. The day will come when your name might not be spoken as often, but the kindness you showed, the truths you lived by, and the dreams you shared can keep inspiring hearts you'll never meet. And in that way, your life truly outlives you, echoing quietly and powerfully in places you may never go, but whose lives you'll forever help shape. So as we stand here, let us remember this: our time on this earth is limited, but our impact doesn't have to be. A life that outlives you isn't built by chance. It's shaped by conscious choices to serve others, to live each day with passion and purpose, and to invest in people, values, and ideas that will keep breathing long after we're gone. It's about daring to dream beyond your own years and planting seeds whose shade you may never sit under. Because in the end, it's not the years in your life that matter most, but the life you pour into your years, the love you share, the hope you ignite, and the legacy you leave behind that will keep your spirit alive in this world far beyond your final breath.